Alright, so Macs, why everyone should own one. Apple has enjoyed a rebirth over the last 10 to 15 years with their new products and their new lines. And they've done it very simply. They've got a new philosophy. They brought their old CEO back and they just went straight forward, and they're going with design, and they're going with something that works. And this is what Apple is known for. They're known for their operating system, Mac OS X 10, which came out in 2001. And compared to over Windows, they make their own products and their own computers as opposed to outsourcing to other companies. They're extremely easy to use, extremely easy to learn, and they are now under the impression of the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. They are going green, which we're seeing a transition in a whole big thing in the last couple of years, protecting the environment. Apple makes quality products. They keep everything very selective. They've got 3 main desktops. They've got the Mac Pro, the iMac, and the Mac Mini for the desktops, and they've got a MacBook Pro, a MacBook, and a MacBook Air for their notebooks. As I said, Apple computers run on Mac OS X, which is their operating system. It's Microsoft's Windows. And like I said, it's very streamlined because they do it on their own, and they don't have any other companies influencing their products. It's strictly Apple writing their own codes, and you see it portrayed in their products. One of the great things about OS X is that it doesn't have viruses. In 2005, Windows was diagnosed with over 114,000 possible viruses. Mac OS X had 0. So think about that. When every time you launch a Windows machine and you have McAfee or Norton antivirus pop up, and it takes 10 minutes to load and you run virus scans, something you just simply don't have to worry about with a Mac. Although it should be said that if a computer's accessing the internet, that it's not necessarily 100% safe no matter what type of computer it is. Apples are extremely simple to use. They are out of the box ready. You could literally open the box, plug it in, push the on button, and it'll load up with a nice little welcome screen, and in 10, 15, 20 seconds you're literally on the internet. It's great for somebody like my parents who basically have no idea how to use a computer. My dad calls me screaming at me, how do I send an email? And basically with my Mac, I let my dad use it, and he was like baffled. It took 45 seconds to launch the entire thing from shut off to surfing the internet. And there's just, like I said, it's just so incredibly easy to use. Another major advantage of Macs is that they don't use drivers. On my old Dell, if I would want to go and take my PowerPoint slides and I would want to go print them on somebody else's printer, I would need a driver, and I'd have to go and find that driver and install that driver, and it would probably be a big pain, and it would take 15-20 minutes to do. But with Macs, they have the drivers built in, so you could literally take any Mac and plug it into just about any piece of software, whether it's a camera or a printer or a scanner, etc. And it'll identify it and it'll print without having any time to waste. Apple's known for their superior support. They actually have their own in-house support system called AppleCare. Every Apple computer comes with 1-year support, and then you could purchase up to 3 years after that for a price. The techs aren't outsourced. It's amazing to be able to, if you do have a problem with anything, you call up the AppleCare line and you speak to somebody that speaks English, and they will run diagnostic tests, and if they can't solve the problem on the phone, they will either send a replacement, or you can go to the Genius Bar at any Apple store and they'll go ahead and take care of it and replace it. A couple personal experiences. I had a problem with a power charger. They diagnosed that they couldn't fix it, and I sent it in, and in 2 days I had a power charger back. I didn't get charged and nothing. A friend of mine had a broken pixel on his screen. He took it to the Genius Bar and they diagnosed it, they couldn't fix it, and they actually replaced his screen with an entire new screen, which is a $900 fix, with an updated LED screen as opposed to an LCD screen, which is an older technology. Macs have been used, or known rather, for their input in the creative industry. Lots of designers, graphic designers, film industries have been known to use Macs, but we're beginning to see a transition with the Macs and the creative industry, because now it's not only people in like my major, digital media, who are using Macs. It's everybody, and that's partially because with the new Intel-based Macs, you have the ability to operate Windows, which wasn't you weren't able to do that before with the PowerPC model of Macs. But by allowing Macs to use Windows, it opens up a whole other spectrum and it caters to a whole new environment of users. There's two ways to run Windows. You could actually run it virtually, which is really needed. It's essentially like launching any other program, whether it's your mail application or Adobe Photoshop. It's just like opening a program, and it'll literally run Windows, and you can use Windows any way that you would normally do it on any other machine. And the other alternative is something that they have called Boot Camp, which literally takes a partition of your hard drive and it installs it as it sets certain space available that's strictly for Windows, and it's literally like using any other computer, whether it's Dell or a Compaq, etc. So one of the stripes used to be that Macs were no good for gaming, but now that you could install Windows on it, they just outperform. All right, I have a video of Mac's new ads of their new notebooks that were released about a month ago, about them going green.
This is the new MacBook. Its advanced aluminum and glass enclosure is completely recyclable. It's engineered to be so efficient, it runs on 1/4 of the power of a single light bulb. And it's made without many of the harmful toxins found in other computers, like mercury. The new MacBooks, the world's greenest family of notebooks.
And as I said, Apple is taking huge steps to be the leader in the industry, to go towards this initiation of going green. So that's just a couple of things that they're actually trying to input to gain more people, because they really are fun to use. And let's face it, nobody likes to deal with viruses. Nobody likes to deal with tech support that comes from other countries where you can't understand them. And just the whole user experience is incredibly streamlined, and it's literally, Windows had a thing, I'm sure everybody remembers, a thing drivers called plug and play, which, you plug it in and it's supposed to work after you install 15 things and restart 100 times. It's not really plug and play. Apple has the plug and play, and it just makes everything, it makes Apple products in general incredibly easy to use and very enjoyable.